What's going on, guys? Tyler from Death Valley Mining, and today we're going to do a video that some other YouTubers in the last couple of days have been covering. Basically want to go over hardware prices going up drastically, or at least enough where it's noticeable the last few months, and specifically the last 2 weeks, due to the crypto market really escalating rapidly here, which is great news, but kind of creating some urgency around if you are looking to purchase hardware, now might be your time to do that. I know there's been several videos so far on ASIC miners and the prices of those going up. I want to focus solely on GPU mining because that's personally what I'm into right now. And so we're going to go ahead and flip to my computer here, and we're going to take a look. And basically what I did is I created this Google document that takes a look, and basically what I did is I put in the last 20 sales on eBay and then the oldest 20 sales on eBay. Now eBay only goes back 90 days. So basically I just went to the last page, scrolled to the bottom, and then put those prices up. A couple criteria that I either included or excluded. I did not include Founders Edition cards because those always seem to go for a little bit more than regular cards. I also didn't include parts only, multiple GPU lots. I only included listings that had recently sold where it was a regular 3060 or whatever model it was, a regular card that wasn't a Founders Edition option, and it wasn't a parts only card. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the data. So I did this for 5 different cards: the 3060, the 3060 Ti, 3070, 5700 XT, and just for the heck of it, I threw the RX 580 in there, as I know some of you guys still do mine with that, especially if you have free power. And that one's actually really interesting. We'll take a look at that one here at the end. But what we're gonna do is, it's pretty self-explanatory. What I did is I put in the 20 sales here, put in the 20 sales here, I averaged it out, and then I looked at what is the dollar increase and what is the percentage increase of that card over the last 90 days. And you'll find that there's a trend here. So between the RTX 3060, you can see here that pretty consistently the last 20 sales have been selling for anywhere from $200 to $230, where only, let's see, one of them sold for under a $200 price point. I also made sure to include the shipping cost because some people would sell for 200 plus 30 shipping, and then one would be 230 free shipping. Ultimately that buyer ended up paying the same thing. So I included that when I was going ahead and filling this all out. So the last 20 days, 3060s have been pretty consistently over $200, minus the exception of one. Whereas if you go 90 days back and look at the oldest sales back there, you can see that there were several occurrences where the cards were selling for under $200. So overall, on average, we increased about $14 in the last 90 days on an average RTX 3060 NVIDIA card, which is roughly a 7% increase in the last 3 months. What does that mean? It might mean nothing, but what you'll see here is there's a trend in that all hardware is kind of in that same 7 to 10% increase range. And who knows? I think that personally, I think that that's going to continue to go up, but time will tell. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 3060 Ti. Again, here you can see 230, 250, 260, 230, 260, 260, 230, 240, pretty consistently anywhere from $230 to $260. And then if you look at the oldest sales, we've got several here that are like 200, 205, 220, 211, 212. Not really, besides these guys here, none that go over $240, which on this side here, the majority of them are over that price point. So an average of $245.86, whereas 90 days ago it was $226.55, which gave us roughly a $20 increase, or almost a 9% increase, which this doesn't surprise me. I think it's pretty well known that the 3060 Ti and the 3070 are the most commonly used GPUs, whether that be for somebody that's getting into GPU crypto mining or somebody that's been mining for a long time. The 3060 Ti and the 3070 have kind of been the workhorses that a lot of people use. So it doesn't surprise me that if crypto is going up, these are going to be the ones that see initially the biggest increase in price. So we can take a look at the 3070 now, and same trend. So last 20 days, you've got 270 to high 250s sometimes all the way up to a couple of these sold for over $300, which is crazy. One down to $230. So these ones are pretty spread out, which doesn't surprise me also. There's a lot of models of 3070. Some people prefer the 2-fan, the 3-fan. There also seems to be a drastic price difference between models. So EVGA versus like Asus or something like that, right? You know, cards that maybe are considered on the lower end of the spectrum compared to the upper end, like an EVGA card. There definitely seems to be a price disparity there that was noticeable. But if you look at that compared to 90 days ago, you know, we're not seeing any cards sell for, you know, 230, 217, 220, 230, 228, 220. We're not seeing that anymore over here. So overall, we ended up with a $22 increase, or almost 9%. So kind of, you know, going along with the theme of the 3060s, the 3060 Ti and the 3070. The 3060 Ti and the 3070 are kind of right there neck and neck. But the average 3070 card cost now looks to be around the 270 mark, whereas about 3 months ago, it was about $250. So if you're looking to buy an 8-card rig or a 4-card rig, or however way you split it, this is multiplying that difference times however many cards you're looking to do. So this is a big increase for somebody that's looking to, you know, get into this, or maybe doesn't have hardware yet. Or for people like me, and I know a lot of you out there, if you have hardware, this can be a really good sign. I know me personally, I'm no longer selling any of my hardware. I'm holding on to it. I have GPUs that I was planning on selling. I'm gonna hold on to them, right? Will we see a $300, $350, $400 3070? Who knows? That's something that people can speculate on, and something we might see in 2025. But for now, I'm gonna kind of see how the market kind of handles things, and see if these numbers continue to increase. So getting away from the NVIDIA cards and now taking a look at a couple AMD cards, I wanted to throw in, you know, some AMD cards that I think people that maybe don't pay for power in college, or you're trying to get a budget rig that's maybe break even or just profitable, or you're kind of just playing around with it. These are great cards that you know, people still like to use. I don't personally use them. I don't recommend you buy them. This is more informative for myself. I wanted to see kind of what the trends are like, and is this just affecting the cards that are, you know, drastically used for GPU mining, or is it still affecting the cards kind of across the market that maybe aren't as popular for mining? But then again, I know a lot of people that mine with these cards still, so it could be the same reason. But if we look at it, it did not miss AMD cards. It's the same story. So 90 days ago, we had, you know, 120 to 150, 130s, 140s, so on and so forth. And in the last 20 days, these cards have been selling for anywhere from, like, we had a couple in the 140, you know, 140 range, but a lot of them are in the 150, 160. Some of them are even in the 170 range. This card just yesterday sold for almost $180. So overall, we went from 143.50 average to 155.73 average. So about almost, you know, $12 increase, or right there on path with the 3070. You know, we're seeing a consistent 8 to 9% increase. So the last one I wanted to take a look at just for fun was the RX 580, a card that in the last bull run was kind of, you know, it was crazy. Like, this card was selling for $500, and it seemed like a year ago, like for example, a year ago, I picked up 30 RX 580s for $18 a unit, and I sold those all, right? I sold them all quick, and I sold them for like $50, and I was super stoked on it. And now looking at where these cards are going, like, who knows? Could we see a $100, $150 RX 580? And if we can, that's insane. But who knows? I mean, it kind of seems like it's trending that direction, because we look at the last 20 sales, and you can see, I mean, people are paying 80, 75, 80, 72. There's some of them that sell for in the high 50s, but most of these cards are selling from anywhere the mid 60s, mid 70s, sometimes into the lower 80s, which is just absolutely insane for a card that literally less than a year ago you could have easily picked up for $20, and they're everywhere. And now there's less of them listed, and they're consistently selling for 60 to 80 bucks, which is just absolutely nuts. Even 90 days ago, you can look at and you can see, you know, lots of these cards were selling in the 50 to 60 range. We only have two of them here that sold in the 70s. Whereas if we look in the last, you know, 20 sales, which, you know, for some of these cards, the last 20 sales was only within the last 3 or 4 days. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 almost literally half of the last 20 sales were $70 or higher. And 90 days ago, there was only 2 of the last 20 sales that were $70 or higher. So that in itself is crazy. We had about a $7.50 price increase, or about a 12%, or sorry, yeah, $7.58, about 12% increase there. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I just wanted to cover that real quick. It's very interesting. I can tell you personally, I'm buying hardware, which is crazy to say because literally a month ago, I was trying to sell as quickly as I could. But right now I'm kind of just looking at the market. I'm looking where things are going. I'm saying, you know what? I think that if nothing else, I think that hardware in 2025 is gonna be a pretty safe bet for me personally. So I'm buying hardware. I'm not buying, you know, crazy 40 series cards. I'm buying 3060s, 3060 Ti's, 3070s. And I'll be honest, I'm even looking at buying some RX 580s. Why? Because I think that for the budget-friendly person that wants to get into crypto mining, the people that are in college, the people that don't have to pay for power, I still think there's gonna be a market for those cards. And could we see $125, $150 RX 580? Who knows? But that's a gamble that I'm willing to take. I've got a source on them that I can get them really cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that gamble, and we'll touch base on that in about 6 months and see how they do. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.